The Jesters. Really? By WCat03Blue. Summary. Long story short, this will be a romantic story between Sun and Moon from FNAF and the reader. You will be a new, regular Joe employee at the Pizza Plex. Chaos ensues. Please listen to the notes for more details and personal thoughts. Notes. Inspired by Solar Lunacy by BamSara. Inspired by To Err is Human by the Nerdy Birdie 14. Well, here we are. I was never sure I'd write anything, let alone fanfiction, but for reasons completely unknown to me, I've started. So here we are with a Sun/Reader and Moon/Reader fic. I might turn it into a Sun/Moon/Reader fic? I'm not sure, but if I do, they will not be brothers. It's not canon that they are, so I can really do whatever I want. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I have no plan. I also don't know how to write romance. Y'all are along for a ride. I will make no promises about updating on a regular basis, let alone past the first chapter. I'm a college student with low motivation, so you get what you get. But I hope you like it. I'm going to try my damnedest. Once again, this is my first fic, so please be merciful. There will be cursing, and the self-insert is very based on me, so sorry if that makes them hard to relate to. They will also be going by they/them pronouns. Let me know if you see any issues in the fic. I will also be posting this on Wattpad if you prefer to read it there. This was heavily inspired by BamSara's Solar Lunacy on AO3, the Nerdy Birdie 14's To Err is Human on AO3, Janky Bones' Sun's Upgrades on TikTok, and the other 24, and now more, Sun and Moon fics I've read. Now let's get on with the show. Chapter-specific notes. Sorry for this chapter being all exposition. I know you're supposed to integrate it as you're telling the story, but I don't really give a shit. So giant exposition it is. There's no Sun or Moon in this chapter, but Sun should show up in a chapter or two, and Moon should show up within the first 10? Other than that, I don't think I have much to say. Without further ado, here's the first chapter of The Jesters. Really? Yes, I know I'm bad at titles. Shut the fuck up. Chapter 1. One simple click. You stared at your glowing computer screen, mouse hovering over the red button. Did you really want to do this? You were in your last semester of college, and your classes were sparse. You had too much spare time on your hands, and gods knew you could use the money. You're going to be on your own soon, and wanted to start chipping away at your student loans ASAP. But it had been damn near impossible to find a job that suited your pay expectations and interests, let alone fit your schedule. It wasn't that your classes got in the way of most businesses' working hours. They were actually very early in the morning. But that was the problem. Unless you stayed awake all night, you could never get up in time for 8 a.m. classes. You were certain the only way to make it through the semester was by becoming nocturnal. You wanted to work late at night and early into the morning, leaving the rest of your day free for homework and sleep. Plus, you really didn't want to work weekends. You liked your free days. You weren't a dumbass, of course. You had been doing a test run of this hypothetical schedule for 2 weeks. Surprisingly, it worked perfectly. Maybe you were secretly part bat or possum. In those weeks, you had searched every avenue possible for a job that fit the bill. But you found nothing. Everything had one wrong detail, like experience, pay, or hours. You were on the verge of settling for a daytime job or giving up entirely when you stumbled upon the Fazbear Entertainment website. You had heard of the company, especially because of the giant restaurant near your college, Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizza Plex. You usually drove by it on your way home for break, and the place was the size of a giant shopping mall. Once, you had looked it up out of curiosity. The pictures of the place and its animatronic band made it seem seriously cool. You'd even heard from fellow students who liked to visit it in their free time that it was amazing. You'd wanted to go since first seeing it, but could never find the time. There was a section of the website dedicated to open positions, and that was where you found it, your perfect job. The Faz of all trades, TM, was basically a glorified janitor and maintenance position, where you will be responsible for keeping the Plex in tip Freddy top hat shape for the band and their guest. There were multiple versions of the job that focused on different sections of the building, and this opening specialized in the Superstar Daycare. You looked it up, and the place was a toddler's, and maybe your, rainbow vomit dream. You weren't really a fan of kids, but you wouldn't be seeing them anyways. The job required no previous experience, and the pay was fantastic. You'd be getting through that student debt in no time. But best of all, you were allowed to lay out your own schedule, preferably at night. The only time they required was during the day on Wednesday. That was the only day the place was closed, and you would come in to take care of messes in more public areas. That was perfect since you didn't have any classes on Wednesdays. It seemed too good to be true, and it was. You did a little research, and Fazbear Entertainment had a history. There were missing kid reports all the way back in the 80s. One of the co-founders had been arrested, and there were tons of incidents of disappearing employees, which obviously didn't bode well for you. All of the news articles you found were vague, and every time you tried to find out more, the trail went cold. They probably had a killer legal team. You weren't sure if it was a good or bad sign, but the number of scandals around their newest location was next to none. That either meant Fazbear Entertainment had cleaned up their act, or they had gotten better at covering their ass. But you also had a history, one of idiotic activity. You weren't really a thrill seeker, but you erred on the side of recklessness. Your friends certainly knew it. As soon as you told them about the job and its dangers, they begged you not to apply. But you refuted that the benefits far outweighed the potential risks. Plus, the curiosity was killing you. You were dying, hopefully not literally, to see the place. But you also wanted to see the incredibly advanced animatronics and learn about all of Fazbear Entertainment's dirty secrets. So here you were, taking nearly 5 minutes to debate over a simple choice. Fuck it. You pressed on your mouse with a soft click. The words, application accepted, and digital confetti filled your vision. Here went nothing.